Olá a todos, boa tarde. Será que vamos ter alt season ou não? Será que o mercado está a acabar? Para não ouvirem só a minha opinião hoje, vamos ter uma convidada muito especial que vocês já devem conhecer, pelo menos se seguem este canal, já conhecem. Vamos ter cá a Annii, do Trade Travel Chill, que vai partilhar a opinião em relação ao estado do mercado, como é que o mercado se poderá comportar daqui para a frente e o que é que a gente pode esperar. Por isso, a live daqui para a frente vai ser em inglês. Eu vou mudar para inglês. Se tiver alguma questão, podem colocar em português, como é óbvio que nós vamos estar cá para explicar. E vamos também ter um anúncio bastante interessante para vocês. Por isso, estejam atentos. E agora vamos chamar a Annii para dar as boas-vindas. Deem-me só um segundo. Hi, Annii.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? So I was just telling, first, thank you for being here. And I was telling that we are going to speak English for now, starting now, and because you don't speak Portuguese yet. Sorry, and
Not
so
yet.
and I was telling that we are going to talk about the market. You just did an amazing video about altcoins and the alt season, etc. That I think everyone should listen and go watch that video. I'm going to share the link in a few moments. But first, I would like you to present yourself. So for those that don't know you yet, I think a lot of them know you, but for those that don't know you, can you tell us something about your background, trading, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Annie from Trade Travel Chill, and I started trading, I actually got into crypto in about 2016, early 2017. And initially it was just like everyone else. I just bought some Bitcoin and waited to see what happened. I didn't really understand what I was doing. And then throughout that cycle, I was just spot trading. And I don't even think you could leverage trade back then. So I was spot trading and I did okay from it. And then after that cycle ended, I took about a year off because I used to own other businesses in a different industry, and I had 8 different locations of this business, and it kept me really, really busy. So because crypto was just a hobby, I couldn't keep up with it, and so it had to go. So I stopped doing anything in crypto for about a year. And then that's when the bear market came. So I didn't know that I was exiting, but from a bear market, I just stopped. And I came back a year later. And so this was after Bitcoin had gone to 20 grand. By the time I came back, it was about 4 grand or 5 grand, I think it was. And I remember thinking, wow, like that's a big difference. I've seen this thing at $20,000. Now it's only 5. And so I got back involved again and, took it a lot more seriously. That's where I learned about actually trading, and that you could trade with leverage and all those sorts of things. And I learned how to do all of that. Had my ups and downs like everybody does with learning to trade. But then over time, I kind of lost passion in my businesses, and I wanted to exit that, but I needed another form of income. So I decided to take trading really seriously and see if I could turn that into my full-time way of making income so that I could exit my businesses and then just be a trader. And so I dedicated a lot of time to it. Went through all these different trading strategies, different mentors, and eventually I figured out, how the market really works. I ended up going through Forex trading strategies and applying those strategies to crypto. And it changed everything because it taught me that the market moves at certain times, which meant that I didn't have to be on the charts all day, every day, which is what I was doing prior to learning that. And especially because crypto is 24/7, you never want to leave the chart in case you miss the move. But once I learned how the markets actually work and who moves the markets, I learned that you can time that and you can know when the market is going to move. And therefore you cut down your trading time significantly and you get your life back essentially. So I started following that trading strategy, and I had to make some adjustments along the way so that it would fit into crypto because it was designed for Forex. And yeah, over that, ended up developing my strategy. It worked for me, started showing people on YouTube, which led to a business that then had, you know, a private community and creating courses and all those sorts of things. And yeah, that's where we are today, teaching thousands of people how to trade with market makers, trading on the right side of the market and not having to spend hours and hours and hours per day doing it.
I think you said recently, correct me if I'm wrong, that you trade on a small time frame so that the market makers cannot take your profit. Something like this, correct?
Yes. So we trade a strategy that there's two ways to trade it. So one of them is it takes 3 days generally it takes 3 days for your trade to play out. And the other one is a day trading strategy. So, you know, you might be in the morning and you'll be out by night. And so you're not holding trades, you know, after you go to sleep. And so it's up to people to decide which strategy they like to trade. And some people trade them both. But once you understand the markets, you understand that everything happens according to liquidity and how much leverage builds up in the market. So the longer price trends in one direction, the more people jump onto that trade, and that means the more and more leverage that builds up. So I'm sure you've seen it where price will be trending, then all of a sudden you just have this big drop out of nowhere. Like we saw it recently when Bitcoin dropped to 88K and, you know, and not too long ago as well. So those are big liquidation hunts. They have to wipe out all of the leverage traders to rebalance everything. So we'll essentially take their borrowed money back, and then the market can resume again. So that only happens after a lot of leverage has been built up. But when you trade our strategy, because you're not really holding on for more than 3 days, you'd never become a victim of that. So you never have your trade turn around and liquidate you because you've already taken profit before it happens, or because we track liquidity, you know that it's coming soon. So you can trade it if you can see it in advance, or you can just decide to stay out, wait for it to happen, and then continue on, you know, after the damage is done.
Yeah, that's something I really appreciate in your trading strategy, is that you have those targets. If you don't meet those targets, you are not going to open any trades. And
yep.
I think there's where people make most of the mistakes. It's on, okay, I'm going to enter now a long or a short, whatever, and they are or in the middle of the range or in the middle of a void of liquidity. And it will be, yep, they will get liquidity upside or downside, correct? And
a lot of people are learned like a standard way to trade. You know, they learned support, resistance, triangle, you know, and you got to think about it like this. Every time you trade, somebody is trying to take your money, right? That's what trading is. It's a swapping hands from one to the other. Just like when you profit, you've taken someone else's money, right?
Yeah.
So that's the game. But so if you think about it logically, if the majority of people are taught to trade a triangle pattern or support and resistance, or, you know, if 99% of people are learning to trade that, then that means the big money knows what the 99% of people are looking at. So it's easy to take their money.
Yeah, you are calling about the retail patterns, correct?
Yeah, retail patterns. Yeah. So if you can learn how the big money moves the market, then you can be on the same side of it, which is what we focus on, as opposed to being part of their trap where they're trying to take your money.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And we are going to have some news about your trading strategy, but we are going to leave that for a few minutes. But we are going to share something really big with you. So I would also like to talk about the video you did today. Because I think you were one of the first, if not the first one, to call that this market is more a trader's market than a holder market, correct? And I was watching your video. I already shared the link on the chat so people can check it. And I see that those that start entering the market in 2024, right now, in altcoins mainly, they are at a loss. So they are, I think we have two types of investors right now. Those that bought in 2022, 2023, and they are still in profit in some altcoins, not all altcoins. And those that bought, I think March 2024, it was the last top for altcoins, and they are now at a major loss. And your message was kind of like mine, saying, look, I'm not saying there will be an alt season. I still believe there will be an alt season. We just have to wait more time. Exactly. Can you elaborate on this so that they can understand your view?
Yeah, so I think my original message got a little bit blown out of proportion by other creators who then tried to jump on the bandwagon. But originally what I was saying was we aren't seeing the same type of alt season that we're used to seeing. And in prior cycles, it didn't matter what altcoin you bought, everything was going up together. So you didn't actually have to be that intelligent, and you didn't have to really research things. You could just buy anything and you would make money. The point of that video was that's not the same thing happening this cycle. This cycle, you actually do need to do some research, and you do need to pick some fundamentally really good coins. And those are the ones, like you mentioned, that you would still be in profit on now. But the problem is we have over 9 million altcoins. The chances of you picking the good ones, if you're not an expert, you know, it's like a needle in a haystack. It's going to be very, very difficult. And because we don't really have all that much liquidity going around, it's spread so thin right now. And so what is happening is, because we have this liquidity problem and we have this oversupply of altcoins, when we do see altcoins move, they don't tend to last very long. So this is another thing that's very different from the last cycles. In the last cycle, you would get an altcoin pump and then it would have a retracement, but on a macro time frame, it would still be bullish after that retracement. You know, it would create a higher low. Now what's happening is we have our 1 month pump, and then when they retrace, they come all the way back to where you originally entered, or potentially even lower. So if you're not taking profits, then that's why you end up with, you know, for 1 month you're up, the next month you're down, the next month you're up, the next month you're down. So we're just not in that phase, and it may come. I'm not sure if it's going to come, but it may come a little bit later that you can just buy things and they'll go up. But right now, that's not happening. So you're better off when you get the right indicators, which I discussed in that video. When you get the right indicators to enter altcoins, you're better off only holding them for like no more than a month and take your profits. And then when they start to retrace, you can get back in later, but at least you're not giving back all the money you've made in the meantime.
Yeah, we are seeing that 100%. But I think there's also something that changed this cycle, is that people got tired of the small ones. And in my opinion, they are going to the old ones because they know what they can count on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You see what the point where I'm getting is, like, I feel that people are now looking for the other coins. First, they are good projects. They are here for multi-cycles. So we need to have you should have paid attention to that. But also because people right now know they are tired. They don't want to go to the small ones because they know it will be just a quick pump and dump. And I think that's what's being more exhausted for the people that are on the market right now. They go after the FOMO, the new thing, and then they get wrecked.
Absolutely. And I think the problem that has happened with this cycle is because we're now maturing and we've had multiple crypto cycles, people who are returning to crypto, they remember how everything flows, right? So we know that in past cycles, it was pretty reliable that, you know, Bitcoin took off first, then we went to ETH, then we went to large caps, mid caps, low caps. That's kind of been the flow until the end of the cycle. I think, tell me if you agree, what happened this cycle, because number one, Bitcoin broke its prior all-time high before the halving, which was a first time ever. And that goes to show that people are trying to front run what they think is inevitable anyway in the cycle. So I think what happened is, and I think this is the mistake of big influencer channels, because at the end of the day, this is happening to audiences that are just following who they believe in, right? Which is what you do. So that's totally fine. But they're being misled, because I think what's happened is these bigger channels, or shill channels, let's call them, they have tried to skip the line. They know that they're not going to get the 100x on ETH. They're not going to get 100x on large caps. So they've tried to get their audience directly into the end, directly into the small caps first, and told them that, you know, that's where your 100x's are. But by skipping the line, the liquidity hasn't been able to filter through, and we end up with pump and dumps.
Yeah, I 100%
making-
agree. Yeah. I think everyone was expecting a direct path to the alt season, to the micro caps.
Yes.
And that's why everyone got wrecked. And
because I remember, do you remember like over the last year, it was so crazy. It was like Bitcoin would go, meme coins would go, nothing in between. Bitcoin, meme coins, Bitcoin, it just swapped back. And I'm like, what is going on? This is crazy. And now it makes sense to me. Everybody was being pushed into that direction, into meme coins, because that's the only thing that these influencers can move the market with.
Yeah, and also I think there was one thing that people didn't realize. If you are talking about institutional adoption, like we are now listening more and more, they will not start with the micro caps. They will not go to the smaller ones. That's great. Anyone thinking that they are going to the new kid on the block, let's say like this, and putting their money there without knowing what, they will not do that. They will go for the ones that are for more time, more established, worrying about the regulations, etc. And that's what we are seeing now. And that is making the cycle go where it needs to go. And so Bitcoin, I hope Ethereum. Now I'm part of the Ethereum community too. So
are you?
I bought Ethereum expecting a better performance now. And then we'll see the cycle go. I think it will take much more time now with everything that's happening. And tell me if you agree with this. I think the fact that we have now a new president, it's pro-crypto administration, is only like 1 month there. We need more time for the markets, for the big players to start to join the industry. And I've been telling this, look, next 100 days will be crazy. But that's why we need to wait more to see maybe a proper alt season. I think you did that analysis also in your video today. And so so I'm
still open. I'm still open to there being a proper alt season, but in that video I say like, what do I need to see to then think it's coming, because it's not here now. But that doesn't mean you can't trade altcoins now. You can, but until the behavior that is currently happening changes, we are better off taking profits, getting back in, taking profits, instead of just holding the entire, for most of them. Obviously there's some other, Link, HBAR, like there's some really good ones that don't fit into the category. But for the majority of altcoins, you're better off taking your profits, let them pull back, get back in and go again until we see a macro trend change.
But the problem is that people were not on those ones that you're saying now, because no one talked about them. And this is something that I'm always highlighting here. The good ones, the ones that here for the multi-cycles, and the ones that probably institutions will adopt, no one talk about it. And that's why I think that all this drama on the market, let's say like this, is coming from that. They was always chasing the new thing. And people now are having a bad time. That's what I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone who bought those things a year or two ago are not having a bad time.
Yeah, exactly. And we have been trying to highlight that. So Annii, before I announce what I want to announce here, tell us about your community so then I can make the announcement.
Okay, so we have basically the way we do things is we have like a one size fits all type of thing where everything that we do is kind of included in the one membership. And that means that we have a community where we share our ideas daily. And I have a team of traders who I've personally trained, and they all trade exactly the same system that I trade. And so they will provide, and myself, we provide multiple updates daily on the market. And we trade in different sessions. So it doesn't matter where you are globally. there will be an analysis at some time that suits you when you're available to trade. And we have full courses that teach you our trading strategy from beginning to end. It is a commitment. It's a very detailed course. But like I said to you, it teaches you to trade like the people that actually move the markets, as opposed to what they call retail traders, where you are constantly being trapped by the market makers. So it teaches you slowly over time how to trade like the big money so that you can be on the right side of the trade. And so you have access to those courses, you have access to our market updates. We also do a lot of live sessions and things like that. So if you understand English, you can come on to those sessions, that they are in English. And you can ask questions to my team and stuff like that. And also, finally, the other thing is that we have our custom-made indicators that are designed to make your charting process a lot easier. So you'll be able to see the key levels that we pay attention to. You'll be able to see that with the indicators. And also, once you learn about liquidity and all of these things, which are covered in the course, you get access to that stuff as well.
Yeah, thank you. And how many videos do you have? I think I said more than 100 in my community. Is
How
that
many
correct?
what?
How many videos inside your
Videos?
trading?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there would be more than 100. So the main course alone is 55. That's the main one to do. Once you've done that course, you can start trading the same way I show you guys on YouTube. And then there's like master classes and all these others. So it's probably, about 100 in total if you really wanted to go through all of them.
Just for people realize what we are going to announce them now. Okay, I think it's important for them to realize the magnitude of your trading courses and how detailed they are. That's why you have so many videos. And one thing, you also need to do a quiz to advance, correct? If I'm not mistaken, in the courses.
Yes. Just to make sure you understand what was covered in the video before you move on. But it gives you confidence. Like if you get the questions right, you feel good. I understood that. Yes. Then you feel happy to move on.
Okay. So I'm going to announce it now. Let me just come here. So I will say this in English, then maybe I can say in Portuguese. Yeah. We can say that we merged your community with Academy Alpha, our community in Portuguese. And now everyone wants to have access to Trade Travel Shield community in Portuguese, with exception of the courses and the live calls, because those are in English. They can do it now, okay? And you'll have a link on the description, and you'll have a 14-day trial that you can have access to everything that Annii provides and everything that we provide in our community. And every update that we'll receive in our Discord will be in Portuguese. So I'm going to show you here, because I have this ready here. This is your update yesterday about Ethereum, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is in Portuguese, okay? Annii shared this in TTC Discord in English, and we receive it in Portuguese. So just to be very clear for those that don't understand English, all the updates going to our Discord, they are going in Portuguese, okay? So with this being said, we have this membership of $138 per month, and you'll have access to both communities, not just TTC. You'll have access to Academy Alpha that we charge $49.99, and you'll have access to TTC community for just $138, no more than this. And this is your regular price, correct? Just for people be aware that for the regular price that some people pay to your community, they are getting access to two communities, one in Portuguese and the TTC.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is really important for you to understand that it's a 2-for-1. And you'll have access to the trading courses, and everything that Annii said here is included on this membership. You don't need to pay any extra, right, Annii?
Yeah, correct.
I think sometimes it's important for you to understand that with this, you'll get access to a full trading courses, an indicator, free live sessions per day, if I'm not mistaken, and more, let's say like this. And plus the content in our daily calls on Academy Alpha. So I don't think there's a better offer than this currently at this price. And let me just see if we have more questions. and everything now is working that we tested. So my advice for anyone that wants to learn how to trade and wants to learn about crypto, try the 14 days and see the value that you'll have from this, let's say, merge on this community inside Academy Alpha, because you'll get access to our community and to TTC community, with the exception of the chat, because the chat wouldn't make any sense. So how many members do you have already?
We have about 1,500, I think. But also important to say that 14-day trial that you get, so you're not charged until after the 14 days. So you really can come in and try for free, and everything that you're getting in your ACN membership now you keep, and then TTC stuff is additional.
Exactly. So you won't be charged until the 14 days expire. That's very, very important too. I was forgetting to mention this. So I think this is a great opportunity for you to start learning. Also, I believe the market is giving you a very good opportunity right now, especially with altcoins, selected ones, let's say like this. And if you start learning now, maybe you can still catch something of what it's about to come, in my opinion.
Yeah. Actually, one other really important thing that really resonated with my community that I said to them earlier this week, because I have a lot of new people that have come in recently because they got really badly burned by the recent drop, and they now realize, I need to know more about what I'm doing. So I have a lot of new members that have come in that are already down, and so they're in a little bit of a state of panic about it, and they're trying to rush through the education because what they've been taught on YouTube is that time is running out. You've probably seen thumbnails like that. When the market dips, they say last chance to buy. The thing is, when you learn to be a trader, you can make money no matter the direction of the market. So there's nothing more powerful, because if the price is going down, you can short the market and you can make money. If it's going up, you long the market and you can make money. And that means there is no need to rush. So you have no deadline. You can take your time, you can learn properly. These channels that tell you time is running out, they say that because they can only make money in a bull market, and that's not a true trader. That is a person who can make money for 1 year out of 4 years of the cycle. So when you're a trader, you have a lot more power because there's no time limit. You can always make money.
And also there's one thing I think most people don't know is how to hedge, how to have an edge in case things go wrong. And I think that that's something most people don't learn how to do it, how to have an edge. And so when these things happens, they're in panic mode because they didn't edge themselves. Yeah, I 100% agree. And that I've said this in the past. If you don't want to start buying crypto right now, take advantage of this last year or last year and a half to learn, to take advantage of the next bear market. Let's say like this. And so, you have the time now to learn. Now you have the library with everything you need to learn. Let's say like this. Yeah. And by the way, just to tell people that one member of our team, Andrea, learn your courses so that she can help everyone in Portuguese. So I think it's important to know that we have someone to make the bridge, let's say like this, that already learned your method, is applying your method, so that she can help everyone that has any doubts. But I know your team will be available too, so that will not be an issue. I think we don't have any questions. I think people are more calm right now about the alt season.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. No one is asking when will the alt season, if it's going to happen or not. I think it's just a matter of time, like we said. So if everyone is okay with this, I'm just saying in Portuguese what I said right now. Ok? Just give me 1 or 2 minutes, ok?
Sure. Yeah.
Pronto, só para vos explicar então, que é mais fácil assim. Quem quiser aceder agora, através deste link que está na descrição, vai ter acesso às 2 comunidades pelo preço de $138. Às 2 comunidades. E durante esse período, durante os 15 dias de teste, não é cobrado nada, ok? Só se passarem os 14 dias é que vocês vão ser cobrados. Quero com isto dizer que vocês vão poder aceder durante 15 dias ao TTC e à Academia Alfa sem vos ser cobrado nada. Ao fim desses 14 dias, se decidirem ficar, é então cobrada uma subscrição. Se não decidirem, não é cobrado nada. Para aqueles que queriam experimentar a Academia, hoje podem só experimentar a Academia como a TTC. Okay? Acho que assim fica claro para todos. Eu vou terminar agora a live em inglês e obrigado a todos por estarem cá. Annie, I'm going to finish now. I think it was clear for everyone the advantage they can have. And I think you need to come here more often so you can share your views with I think the viewers need to understand that there's no need to hype anything. You just need to see what the market is telling us. Okay, there's no need to be afraid, and you understand what I'm saying. And I think there's a lot of noise right now, and people need to understand that fear sells the same way that big dream sells. And when you find a community or a influencer or YouTuber that can be in the middle, that's where you are in the correct way.
Yeah. When you have influencers that get really excited when the price is going up, that they haven't learned to deal with their emotions. So, you have to wonder how genuinely successful they are. As a person who understands the market should be able to be completely emotionless about the price, regardless of the direction.
Yeah. And usually when there's a quick move, that's when you need to say, look, careful, because there will be a new liquidation event. And when we are saying that, and I've dealt with that here in the past, when we are going up and you're saying careful because this might retrace, get ready for retrace, we are calling that we are not seeing the big thing. I think we have been there too. I've seen some comments on your videos too. And
I get it all the time. People say, if I say you shouldn't be buying alts, they'll say, oh, you got to buy the dip, and then the dip just keeps dipping. And I'm like, how's that working out for you?
Yeah. So I think that's, and that's one of the reasons that we have the partnership is because we approach the market on the same way. We have the serious way of approaching the market. And I will say this, we really want you to make money. Okay. And that's why we have all of this to try to help you to make money. And we have a common objective in Portuguese or in English or any other languages is that we want you to make money. And so that's why we partner this way. That's why we are providing two communities for the price of one so that you can take advantage of everything. So I'm going to end now, Annii.
Yeah.
Okay?
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Obrigado a
Good
todos.
hanging out with you.
E até logo à terra.